Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to our devotion on this Wednesday morning. Whenever I began this short series of meditations on Psalm 37, I referred to the callous and wicked murder by Republican terrorists of Superintendent Bob Buchanan and his colleague, Chief Superintendent Harry Breen, in March 1989. When Professor Donnelly read verses 12 to 15 of Psalm 37 to us students on the day after that murder, those words in those verses brought a measure of comfort to all of us. I'm sure for Bob's loved ones who were suffering intense pain, that in the midst of their suffering, these words, if they were read, were a source of strength. Let me read those words to you. The psalmist says, "The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend their bows to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose way is upright. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken." How closely these words reflect what took place on that March day in 1989. There was scheming and planning. There was gnashing of teeth. Verse 12. The gnashing of teeth indicates anger, hatred, opposition, wickedness. They draw their sword. In the case of our beloved friend, it was the more modern day equivalent of the sword, the gun. With what purpose? To bring the meek and the poor to fall. In other words, to slaughter those of upright conduct, says the psalmist. Bob Buchanan was a meek, humble, and upright servant of God, a man of upright character. What wickedness to attack and slaughter a child of God. And whilst the attack upon Bob and his colleague Harry was an extreme form of the hatred of the wicked towards the righteous, nevertheless, the same principle is worked out time and time again in many different situations in lesser forms of opposition against God's people by the unsaved. People scheme and plot against Christians, and they do it in all sorts of ways. They gnash their teeth at us who are followers of Christ. Anger, hatred, venom. They use whatever they can against us. Their weapons may not be bows and arrows and guns, although for some of the people of God in other places of the world that is the case. But for us it may be the arrows of slander, of discrimination, weapons of words, mocking. They wait to see us fall. In other words, to be hurt, to be destroyed. Here is our comfort. The Lord laughs at them, for he sees that his or their day will come. Yes, it's true that in the short term, their wicked plans may succeed, but they will not get away with it. One day, what the psalmist calls their day, the day when they meet their Maker, justice will be done and be seen to be done. Their sword shall enter into their own heart. In other words, they will be the ones who will ultimately be punished. and they'll be punished with a far greater punishment than they ever imagined as they come under the wrath of God forever. Christian, take comfort. The day of the unrepented wicked will come. God will vindicate every one of his people. He will vindicate his cause and avenge the blood of those he loves. The wicked plans against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he sees that his day is coming. Take comfort. Have a good day.